Welcome to Gravel Trap Legends Round 2 of the Master Endurance season. I'm your host Neil Haynes, known as Woody Lizard out on the sim world, and I'm glad to be back here to show you guys Round 2 here for the Masters of Endurance. And we're at Spain in Barcelona, this 14 turn circuit. 4.6 kilometers, and you can see that we're using the current GP circuit without the chicane that they used this year. So it's a quicker lap and a lot more enjoyable for the drivers. So let's just have a quick look to see how we are standing in the championship with the drivers. And you can see Magic Mass after that last lap victory that he had with Gunner at Monza last week. He's out on front with John Slow, came home in that third position in the Honda. These are the hypercars. And then in fourth, Cuckoo, Brett S. And you can see it all going down to Truey in 24th. So also we'll have a little look to see the Targa. I'm pressing the wrong buttons there. Sorry guys. The Targa that Gravel Trap Legends use, and it's based on the fastest laps throughout each round, and they get accumulated, and we'll get an eventual winner. So Magic, obviously the fastest man last week with Gunner with a 37.1, so Magic with a 36.4 around Monza. That was something impressive. So we're just having a look at the weather for the race. Miscalculated has calculated another fine race like we had at Monza. But let's get straight into the action, as we have got the hyperpole currently going on as we speak. And look at the weather. It's a little bit more than just sunshine. It is pouring down rain here for the qualifying. As at the moment, Magic Mass has got it out on the pole position with a 45.001. And Christopher in second. So we've got 8 minutes remaining. As he's viewing up the map here, as he's coming around into turn 4, the long right-hand corner. We've only got the 5 drivers. Like I think last week we had a little bit where we didn't have the full 6 drivers going. Maybe, no, we do have the 6. Rangy Rover, sorry, apologies. Rangy Rover is in pit lane. And all these times that the base on, you probably wonder why is the rest of the field not out. They go on the target, on the leaderboard throughout the week for the time trial, and the top 6 go to this hyperpole. So Magic Mass is just obviously out on an outlap, I would assume. There's Christopher Razor. So this is a private qualifying session as well. So the other drivers can't see each other. So they've got a free track to get out there to get their fastest time. So only a second separating the first 4, with Christopher Razor currently third. And as we speak, goes up into second spot, only 8/100ths of a second behind Magic Mass, so absolutely killing it. So in the Tism green car, as we try and bring on Esky Man. And these conditions aren't looking the best, but he's up on the first sector, Esky Man. So let's ride on board and see if he can climb himself back up into the second spot. And welcome Gunner to the broadcast. Yes, go Esky. So we've already got early shout outs for Esky Man. Tricky corner this, we've got to avoid these track limits, but he looks like he's still had that wheel on the curbing, so he should be all good. And we're just coming up to the second sector. Will we see a green? No, we don't. It's 0.091, so he's a little bit down on that second sector. Look at him trying to grab some grip on this wet track. And here we go. So this is a nice section where they don't have to worry about the chicane. They just come down this little short bit of straight before the final corner, turn 14. And down this long straight. So let's see. Will we see a green? Will he improve just a little bit? No, he doesn't. So these conditions are getting trickier as we speak. There's John Slow. Christopher Razor puts it on pole position now with a 44.8. And John Slow goes a little bit faster, but not enough. So what does... Oh, Magic Mass then puts it straight back onto pole position. So they're like a pendulum at the moment. They're swinging from side to side, and Christopher and Magic are going toe to toe. So round 2. While we're having a little look here, let's just also have a quick little look at the winner shots from last week. We've got the Magic Mass, who were just watching for qualifying, took out that sensational first race at Monza, getting Gunner just at the end on the final lap. And then we had John Slow in third position in the hypercars. Then obviously they also have the prototypes, and Brett S took victory there with Adrian W in second. A great run from Adrian. And then we also had Christopher Razor in third position. So well done to those guys. But let's get straight back to the action. Yes, Mika, it was a Mika the Kid. It was a tough one for Gunner. A little bit of lag going on the screen for the guys, and obviously it was very close between him and Magic Mass. We still see Magic Mass, if he's going to get any better here. The qualifying is almost over. It's just under 4 minutes remaining. Rangy Rover's come out of the pits, and he's put it back into 5th position, and he tumbles those times even further down to a 44.3 in these wet conditions. So what can we expect from Mr. Rangy Rover? Oh yes, we forget it. Yes, exactly, Gunner. Sorry to not mention that, but yeah, there was a lot of blue flags and a lot of traffic that last 5-10 minutes of the race, and the lead that he had around 8 seconds just dropped within a few laps, and Magic Mass was able to come back and come and close that gap through, and had a better run through the traffic. And hopefully the traffic isn't as bad around this circuit. It can play a little bit of a havoc through sector 2, and we'll just see how it all goes. Obviously, they got this long straight, but we had a long straight at Monza too, and still had a little bit of a drums. But here comes Rangy Rover coming over the starting strip, and he goes up, but not enough to challenge or worry Cuckoo at this stage. And Mr. John Slow, who came third, as we know, last week in the Metallica Ride Your Lightning number 2, Race Factor 2 Honda. What's his first sector got? I don't think we missed the first sector time, or I didn't notice it, but here he comes up around this turn 9, up over the rise, and takes a big run into this hairpin. So easy to get outbrake yourself, but a good overtaking spot here at turn 10. So this is an outlap actually for John. So we'll keep an eye on John, I think, because he's going to be one of the last drivers. It's hard to see where all the other drivers are because it is a private session. He does need the VTEC to kick in, definitely. So here he goes around into this long turn 3. In the dry conditions, we could expect the tyres here are going to absolutely cop a flogging. And just a little bit down, but he decides to pull the pin early there. All right, guys. So you might have just seen me. I was trying to do that on the slide, but obviously that was live on the stream. But I apologise that. So here we go. So the drivers are going to have a formation lap, and look at these 25 cars on the grid as we can see them here, all with their lights on. But let's quickly run through the grid order. As we see, Magic Mass did take that pole position over Christopher Razor in second position. Then it was actually, should have been Cuckoo in third position. So I don't know if there was a late job change from there, but I will quickly change that there. And bring Esky Man into fourth position. And then we had John Slow in fifth place and Rangy Rover then in sixth position. And it goes down the order where the drivers will actually sort themselves out and put themselves in the order from 7th downwards. So during the week, we had the Bloody Nine 7th fastest with Travis Moan in 8th, Adrian W in 9th, and Squish Mittens in 10th. That Boy in 11th, 12th, Brett S. And then we come to 13th place with No Frills, Mark 860, who had a rotten luck with his PC turning off last week when his headset went kaput and accidentally pressed the power button trying to get the USB back in. But anyway, hopefully he's got that sorted this week and doing it for Jimmy Barnes and the working class man. But Pixel Boy in 15th and Kiz in 16th, 17th Trimmington. 18th will be Smithy. 19th is Left for Midnight Oil. Truey in a 9-inch nails spot. Right down the back there, Bent's in 21st. 22nd is Rhetorical Gambit. Now that's a shake-up. He was up a lot higher at Monza. And again, another driver that had a lot of bad luck during that race. So hopefully he can stay out of the problems, being right at the back of the grid and benefit from the other cars having the problems and climb back up through the field. Mac Attack in the Wiggles, the big red car in 23rd position. Stu all the way down to 24th. Geez, that's a long, long way back on the grid there for Stu. Max Power 25th. Bales is in 26th if he shows. I don't know if some of these drivers here. Scar 666 is another one right down, but he'll be right at the back of the grid, Scar. So there'll probably be a couple that may not be on the grid tonight. So there we go. So let's go back into the formation lap as the drivers are working their tyres pretty hard, and we can just see some of these drivers here. So should see the bloody 9 here now. The bloody 9 will be working his way for the start of this race in position 7. Travis Moan in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And as they all start coming on through for the final part of this formation lap, we should see it all go very shortly. So we can hear the lights happening now. They're about to start to 100 kilometres an hour. The leader takes control of this race. And here we go. 1.5 hours of the Barcelona do Catalunya. And it looks like Eskimo tried to have a little bit of a jump there behind of Magic Mass. And he's actually got the lead of this race going into turn 1. So did we see Yeski Man actually jump the start? That'll be reviewed by the stewards, but it's Magic Mass that retakes the lead of the race as they all filter on down through the pack as Dat Boy. And here they all come, the big mid-pack. It's just, you can't even pick who's who. There's just so many of them around. But let's have a look at the famous Nicky Webster Squish Mittens. You can't miss the pink car here out on the circuit of the Masters Endurance. But up front, obviously, it's Magic Mass doing a good job as Squish Mittens just finds himself there in 11th position, just in front of No Frill. So they've sorted themselves out. 2x2 for quite a long way, and absolutely killing it. And someone having a little look down the inside is that we've got Dat Boy in the Daft Punk, but I think it was maybe Travis Moan having a little look, yes, in the Red Hot Chili Peppers car. Oh, there we go. We've got already the rhetorical gambit, as we said, already up. Plenty of spots. And he's having a great run early on in that first lap. But it's Magic Mass who is the leader so far of this race, takes the first lap in front. And what's our prediction of laps, guys? An hour and a half. And we're looking at about an hour, 1 minute 36s. Maybe let's round it out to 1 minute 40 a lap, just to be on the safe side. And an hour and 90 minutes. So get your calculators out. Let me know how many laps. And don't forget that we've also got the tyre wear and fuel that needs to come into account too for a few pit stops. But Travis Moan here in the background. He's just having a trouble here trying to see if he can get a little bit of a gap on Dat Boy, who is doing a sensational job. That was a big welcome to Dat Boy. We heard from some of the fans for Dat Boy. And where did Christopher go? Well, I think Christopher's gone all the way down. Not too sure. I thought we had 25. Maybe we had a little bit more. Did we get a little bit of a disconnect? I can't see him anywhere. He's in the pit, so we do have the cars there. I just scroll down a little bit more. So he is in pit lane as we speak. Getting some, I'd say, some early damage repair done, I would think. So he's just leaving pit lane now in the Tism car. So wonder if he hadn't loaded up anything. Maybe he was still on qualifying fuel. We're not too sure, but that could be very costly for Christopher early on in this race. Left is also coming into the pits, but let's go back up front. Magic Mass is trying to make it 2 from 2. Esky Man is in second. What a livery here from Esky Man. Kicking up a little bit of dust for Cuckoo in the background. Flat out down this long straight into turn 1. Get on the brakes just after the 100 metre board, probably more closer in between the 150 metre board. These cars can really pull up pretty quick. It's fast entry, but he's running a little bit wide, Esky, making himself a little bit vulnerable to when he moved from Cuckoo. And Cuckoo's taken a hard line down turn 3 now. This is a problem though. It's going to start heating up that front left. So you've got to be careful. Yes, you can try and take that tighter line, but will that also compromise for your tyres as well? As they are just coming up to some lap traffic. The Midnight Oil of left, who was an early pit stopper as well. So he's just come out of the pits. And obviously he just got to get himself back in a groove of this race. And a big wide moment from Esky Man. Cuckoo's around the outside. And up into P2 goes Cuckoo. The man that's the Pro-Am champion of the Porsche Carrera Cup on Sunday nights at ANZ CRL. And he's second here. Chasing down Magic Mass now. Can he do it? Long way to go. Long race. All these races are an hour and a half until the final round, where we get a big 2-hour race at Spa-Francorchamps. And don't these liveries, I mentioned it at back at Monza, that these liveries are absolutely fantastic. We did see Rangy Rovers last week, and he is in, I believe, the Nickelback. Take a, what is that, a picture of my photograph. So they're all coming down the straight, and it's the bloody 9 down the inside. I think he's made this sticks a nice move by the bloody 9 up into position 5. And Rangy Rover says, hang on a minute, I'll get you back here. And definitely eyes forward for all these drivers. But now Rangy Rover's under attack from Travis Moan just behind. And this is a great little piece of racing here for position 5. We've got a 4-way battle. And we got some little support earlier for Dat Boy. He's on a welcome return. And Dat Boy in 8th position. And he's making sure that the Travis Moan is on his toes, because we've seen Travis have just weaving a little bit and protecting the inside line. So he's obviously feeling that pressure. maybe the reflections from this chrome and silvery chrome and gold car of the Daft Punk of that boy's shine in the mirrors, blinded by the light for Travis Moan in the Red Hot Chili Peppers car. And someone might have to also correct me if I'm wrong. You can see the little Nürburgring of that boy. One of the members, I think he may be the driver that did go to the Nürburgring just recently and carry out quite a couple of laps around the famous circuit. Sigma's looking very strong early on, but will the tyres hold in for these? The pace might just shoo the tyres out a little bit, but the Sigmas are coming on through, so the Bloody Nine's been able to get that move on Rangy Rover. But we won't, I think we got Cuckoo. Magic Mass, as we know, is in the Sigma. Cuckoo's in the Sigma. Esky Man's actually in the Honda, so he's the first of the Hondas in position 3. So he's given it to the Sigmas early on into this race. John Slow is another driver that's in the Honda as he goes out over the track limits there out of turn 13. And we saw the Bloody Nine clear out Rangy Rover in the Sigma. So Rangy Rover is actually in the Chevrolet in the Gen 1. As he's having a little look down the inside is Travis Moan, and Travis Moan is going all the way through into turn 1 into 6th position. So welcome to the top 6, Travis Moan. And can that boy go around the outside of Rangy Rover? I don't think so, as Rangy's been pretty strong through this first sector, but he's just lost a couple of positions into turn 1. So he's just got to get those braking sorted out for turn 1, as it's cost him a little bit of time. But let's get back to Adrian W. And we saw Adrian have a good result back at Monza as well, and he's holding off the squish mittens of the Katy Perry or someone. I can't remember who squish mittens is again, but all in pink. Pretty as pink. It could have actually been pink as well. Could have been the rock star of all rock stars. And here we go, No Frills. Basically the caboose of all this top 13, you could say. There's a big gap then from No Frills, or not a big gap, it's a 5-second margin. But when you look down the order, there's a big train from position 5 all the way down to 13. So this is shaping up to be a very, very good, intense mid-pack battle. But strap yourselves in, guys, for this hour 15 remaining. It's going to get very exciting. If Monza has anything that we witnessed, I tell you what, it's going to be the same here, as we're on board Cuckoo. Now putting that pressure on Magic Mass. So has Magic Mass finally wore out a little bit of those tyres and managing that wear, as a Cuckoo just been ever so consistent and managing his car, his hardware. So again, guys, you always hear me mention that if you've got a driver that you'd like me to click on and give you a bit of screen time of your favourite driver, let me know. There's a big list there. Christopher Razor, early pit stop from him, down all the way down in 25th position. So, and left, he's gone back into the pits as well. So he's not having a good time of it in the Midnight Oil car. Yeah, there's a big battle there for Rangy Rover, definitely, but there's also for the lead of the race as well. But look at this, as Dat Boy really wants to get a go if he can in the Sigma. And will we have a little look? No, it looks like the Honda of Rangy Rover's got the top end speed down the straight, so he was able to hold his own. And obviously he's got that brake sorted this time. But it's obviously this man here, Cuckoo, putting a heaps of pressure for the lead of the race. He lapped 10, and I haven't seen any comments. What's the lap number, guys? What do you think the whole race number's going to be on lap 10? And we've already seen 17 minutes of this race gone, or just under 17, 16 and a half. Thanks, Mika. I will definitely put some screenshots on there for you, buddy. Throughout this race, we got a long way to go. We'll even jump on board a couple of the drivers as well, give a bird's eye view, and we'll definitely keep things going for you guys. 50 laps, says Mika the kid. So let's see if he gets the virtual money. So Cuckoo was just a little bit slow. So Magic Mass has just turned up the wick a little bit with a 32.5. Cuckoo not too far behind that as they're coming up to some more lap traffic, as they just run wide and let these cars through. Of course, we want to see a little bit of onboard footage. Let's have a look at the chase with Cuckoo for the remainder of this lap. See if there's any weaknesses that we can see from Magic Mass at all. Rhetorical Gambit all the way up to 12th position. We said that he qualified fairly low in this race, all the way down in 25th position, I think it was. So he's obviously the race mover at the moment. As well, Magic Mass, what this second sector, he's just piled on the pace and starting to clear out on Cuckoo. So it could be just that, exactly what we saw earlier, that the tyres were heating up a little bit, and he's just taken the time to get his tyres back to operating temperatures. But this man here is on the move. Rhetorical Gambit up into position 12. You could say he's made up 13 spots in this race already. So he started at the back, he's halfway through the field. Will he keep it going? He's in the 33.9s, a lot faster than the next two cars in front of him. And he's just now starting to get a little bit slower. I'll talk about slower. I just saw John slow up into third position as Pete, the sim racer, informed me. So thank you, Pete. Thank you for viewers for letting us know what's going on. But obviously this man here in Ride the Lightning, where is he coming through? So that was Cuckoo, I think. So he's just in front of Esky Man. And we'll see how he can go. Hey Dado, welcome to the stream, my friend. Yes, Cuckoo is in touch. He is really on the pulse here tonight. But talking about the pulse as well, Mac Attack. Oh, we'll get on board here because he is flying in the big red car. So whoever wanted to be in the Wiggles big red car, you're on it now, everyone. So enjoy. As he's trying to get Mark 860, the driver that joined me in the broadcast booth last week after having a computer shutdown on him. And Alt Delete did not reset anything with a car, Control Alt Delete. But here we go, down the inside for Mac Attack. And he's trying to see if he can get this position from Mark 860, who's currently leading him in the, I think it was the Jimmy Barnes Working Class Man, so I think that's meant to look a little bit like the Fire background.
There you go, Woody. Join you for some commentary, if that's all right.
Yeah, definitely. Who we got?
Kiz,
welcome, my friend.
how are you?
So what happened to you? We had a dropout.
I was having some trouble with my button boxes, and there must have been a bit of a mixed signal there. I turned my wipers off and it's changed gears for me, and then I lost gears in my pedals and I couldn't get it reassigned. So.
Oh, that's a shame, and we've just seen another 2 drivers just drop out as you said that, so that's a bit of bad luck for a couple of other drivers. And there's a few more drivers dropping as we speak. We've only got 22 there now, so I'm not too sure what's going on. But yeah, welcome to the broadcast, Kiz. We're just looking at Mark 860.
Marky boy.
Yeah, and he was joining me last week, so things aren't looking good. I think we may be having a lobby reset here, Kiz, so you may find yourself back in the driver's seat very shortly, because the numbers are all dropping. And at the moment we've got 19, and we've got drivers going off left, right and centre. So are they hitting the reset button? We're not too sure. So keep an eye on this, because you might have to load up your PC again and get your button box working. So I think that's what's going to happen, guys. Ooh. So while we all do this, guys, we'll just have a little break, and we'll see what's going, and we'll be back shortly. So it'll be a shortened race, I would say, guys, probably an hour race. So make sure that you come back within the next 5 minutes. We should have things back on track again. So until then, we'll get you some music going at the same time.
Last night a man came by, said you haven't lived until you've tried to be a caged bird who let himself break free. He said he don't mean to criticize, he's just a passerby with young man's eyes. Said when he was my age he looked just like me. Young man, don't you know it ain't way up and my way I aim to go away. Fly, fly, gonna say goodbye to the road that I've been traveling, to the load that I've been carrying. It's a new day, yes it is. Fly, fly,
We'll be driving down the state, yeah. Look around for the next crowd, yeah. Going our own way, trying to find a new route, yeah. We'll be going in circles, trying to find a way, searching for the things we do, yeah. Drop top without a choice, yeah. Hair blown round to the window, singing stupid noise with you. I just wanna get to know ya. I wanna go far to the coast, yeah. I wanna drive fast to the ocean. I wanna know all of you. Growing old like a ghost, yeah. I wanna have kids of my own, yeah. Live a life till it's over. But until we do, it's sleeping too long. Yeah, I'm feeling a little crazy. Sat at home being lazy. Wanna travel till I'm 80, flying with you. Wanna take on the world and do something. Would you by my side like it's nothing? Wanna buy you things that you wanted. Wanna find you, drop top without a choice, yeah. Hair blow round to the window, singing stupid noise with you. I just wanna get to know ya. I wanna go far to the coast, yeah. I wanna dive fast to the ocean. I wanna know all of you. Growing old like a ghost, yeah. I wanna have kids of my own, yeah. And live a life till it's over. But until we do, it's sleeping too long. It's sleeping too long. It's sleeping too long. It's sleeping too long.
I've never felt so alive in my life. 'Cause you make me come to life every time I'm free.
Okay, welcome back to Gravel Trap Legends. Second part of this 1.5 hour due Barcelona race at in Catalonia. And I'm your host, Neil Haynes. I have a little things going on at the moment. We've obviously had the first, what was it, about 18 minutes, nearly 20 minutes, and we had a lobby breakdown. So the boys are just starting to organise things again in the lobby. And we should see that everything should be back to normal very shortly. And it's going to be a 45-minute race and a manual formation to get back to the order it was before most of the dropouts started. So while we having a look at that, let's have the opportunity to have a little look at the championship before we go back. So Magic Mass, as we know, was leading the race. John Slow was up there really up fast. We had Gunner actually commentating with us, commenting during the stream. So he's definitely not there. Probably away working, typing away, and watching a little bit of the race as he goes. So just keeping an eye on his competition, but it's going to cost him not being here tonight. And we obviously seen, I think Christopher wasn't going too bad. Rhetorical Gambit, who was in 19th position, he was up as high as 12th or 11th before the dropout, so he should start up there in the mid-pack. And we saw a lot of others. Kiz was just joining me in the commentary booth, so he's had a second chance, so he can come back into the race. So he'll be happy about that, that's for sure. And looking at the Targa, as we know, that's the fastest lap of the race by each driver, and then added up throughout after each round to get an accumulative time. And at the end of 6 rounds, the drivers with the lowest number obviously wins the Targa. So this is a great little feature with GTL. Keep the drivers aiming for a little championship within a championship. And just so we know, we are here in Spain in the Circuit Barcelona, Catalunya. I'm not quite got my mind straight at the guys at the moment, guys. So here we go. So I will catch up with you later, Gunner. Yeah, make sure that you don't get too much sweat going on there at work. So take it easy, mate, and we'll see you back next week, hopefully. And just as he goes, we'll just have a look and just remind that he comes second in the first round there at Monza. And Magic taking that victory on the last lap with John Slow in third position. So they're the hypercars. We saw the two Genettas in first and second, and John in the Honda. And then we obviously had Brett S. and Adrian W, who were just actually watching when we just started to see the dropouts. Actually, Adrian was on a good run. And Chris was also in third position. So we go to the stream and we can see what's going on at the moment. The guys are out there practicing. Just so make sure that everything's loaded up and everything's okay. And I'm talking about the big red car that we were watching also. He's Mac Attack. Just going out there, just getting back familiarised themselves again. And let's get the audio going as well so you guys can hear those cars, and we'll bring in some onboard footage of let's have a look at Bales and see how he's going. So this is just a warm-up, guys, just to get themselves back in the zone. They're going to have the benefit of a 45-minute race. By the time they do the formation lap, you'd say it'd probably be close to a 40-minute race left for these drivers. So there's enough for them that they're going to have to probably come in for a pit stop before the end of the race. Let's have a little look to see what sort of orders we've got going on. Here we've got 27 drivers, so we've got the drivers all back again. And as I said, I'm not 100% on the order that it was before we got disconnected, but we'll see all the drivers back very shortly after this practice, and they'll get into their manual formation. Max Power in the pit lane. As we try and go through the corporate boxes into his garage trying to find him. Here he is. And look at the Razor's Edge AC/DC of Max Power. And all the band signatures by the looks of things. Let's see if we can see that again. It looks like that's all the band members' signatures on the windscreen on the side part of his car. Let's see if we can, if it slows down, you can just see, oh, it's going a bit too fast for us. There we go. So, nice little thing there by the GTL members. As Smithy. Now you tell me, guys, if you know what livery this one is. It's what did they say it was? It's a witch hazel. Not too sure at all of that band, but let's see if I can get a little tune going for Witch Hazel. I don't even know if I can actually. Nothing sort of comes up, but maybe if I. Oh, jeez. Let's go somewhere else there. That's going a little bit crazy. So here we go. Let's see how this sounds, guys. We'll probably get a little copyright claim somewhere along the line here, but Let's just see, as the drivers are going to have to get themselves in a formation. I want to find out what this Witch Hazel's all about. Yeah. What do you think, guys? This is called Deliver Us by Witch Hazel. The worst thing it will do probably is put a mute this little part of the stream. Oh, belly laugh there. Thanks, Dada, yeah. You're back in, yeah. That's no good. So we welcome back Kiz as we're still listening to a little bit of Deliver Us by Witch Hazel from this man here, Smithy, as he's getting himself into grid order. And we'll get that music down very shortly. It's going to be first, we can see the 45-minute race. It's already started ticking down. So once the guys get themselves organised, we're probably getting to about a 42-minute race. So there you go, the evil one by the Witch. You've even forgotten them already, whatever they call Witch Hazel, Kiz. So have you ever heard Witch Hazel before?
I haven't actually. That sounds pretty good though. I didn't mind the little harmony guitars they had going there.
Yeah, it sounded pretty good as well. So it was good to hear that. So hopefully we'll probably get a little bit of a copyright strike there, but who cares? We've got them all there on the screen. They should be loving that. They might get a few record sales there on a few listens on what do you call it, on Apple iTunes. But here we go. We got about to start. Magic Mass and Cuckoo. You reckon Cuckoo might try and put a sneaky down into turn one, Kiz?
Of course he will.
Of course he will. And we
course
also
he will.
seen Esky Man had a little go at this turn 1 in the race as well. So he's going to be behind in position 4. John Slow's got that inside. But John Slow, let's go now. But it looks like John Slow is... I'm not too sure if it was actually might have been Esky Man. I got a little bit confused there, Kiz. But it's obviously Magic Must down into turn 1. And John Slow bouncing over the curb of turn 2. You don't want to be doing too much of that early on in the race here. Easy as the tyres aren't fully ready to go. You don't want to be looping it in front of this mad pack through here. Oh, I just moved it quickly when John Slow looked like he was having a look. And in the background we got, not Rhetorical Gambit, but we've got Brett, is it? Not too sure who it is. There's, we did see him earlier. It's going down the order.
Safety car, it's been called. For the looks.
Yeah, it's Travis Moan, and that's the front of his car is absolutely gone. And he looks like he might need a recovery vehicle there. Yeah, he's out in that turn 4, the big right-hand corner. Tight on entry, gets a little bit easy on the outside, but as Dado Racer mentions, busted. That's definitely busted, all right. He's trying to get reversed by the sounds of that, Kiz, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, is he stuck in the wall or something, is he? Or?
Yeah, not too sure, but things aren't looking good for him as he's... Here he goes. You think he's finally got himself going now.
Oh, there we go.
And that doesn't look too healthy at all, but he'll come into the pits and looks like they'll get another lap under the safety car as they don't want to be rushing while he's going to be struggling to get back to the pit lane. I'd say there's going to be one more lap, and this is Gravel Trap GTL safety car, Kiz, so they get to be able to call that until the last final 5 minutes of the race.
Yes. Yes.
And the button box, so it was Mark last week that had a problem with his computer shutdown with his headset going, and now you've got a problem with your button box, mate, so it's all happening.
Yeah, no, I got it sorted. For some reason, my buttons, like say my lights and my wipers, switched to the gears. So when I went to turn my wipers off, it reset sort of my gears, and it wouldn't work for the paddles. But that time I was got disconnected. So.
Oh, right, so yeah, it's unfortunate. I think since the little hot patch of little things that's been going on with Automobilista 2, there's been a little bit of lobby instability, which is a bit annoying. And
hopefully it can stay solid now.
Yeah, hopefully. And we've just been shown by Mika the Kid, who's obviously let me know what's going on. Rhetorical Gambit up into 7th position, or 8th, depending how it all goes here. But it looks like he's actually in 7th position now, as Dat Boy just gets in front of him. So Dat Boy might have just dropped behind with something. It's a good return for Dat Boy though, Kiz.
Yeah, no, it's good to see him back on the grid there. It's been missed the last couple, so
yes,
he can be fast too.
And we've got Dado Racer telling us, Kiz, you got too many buttons, Kiz. So you know,
we'll have to cull a few.
Cull a few might be the answer of the day. So Travis Moan has found himself in pit lane now, and he's obviously a lap down. So this has given everyone a little bit of a help. I think Christopher has actually benefited from this restart, Kiz, because I think he was a lap down because he was the first one. He came in pit lane, I think, on lap 2 of the actual race.
Yeah, he was actually complaining of no grip for some reason. He just had no grip in the rears at all. Uncontrollable, he was saying, so...
I guess he was thinking maybe tyres or something, did he? So thinking just a new set of tyres or something?
I don't know, he had slicks on. I don't know if it was just a weird something, but yeah, he seems to be going right now, back in action, so hopefully he can get some good laps in.
Yeah, so we look at the pointy end of the field now, kids, because I think we may get a, it's a bit of a rough little restart here. They're all over the shot. This could get a little bit interesting into turn one.
Go. Oh,
And it looks like Eski's not brave enough to keep it down the inside because he'll find himself on the outside of this part of the corner as they all filtering through. And it's no frills, just get caught on the outside of this big, long turn 3. Oop, the camera didn't work on me then, but I was just trying to pick up the move that we've seen, I think, from Rhetorical Gambit. As he finds himself challenging Dat Boy. I tell you what, that walkover bridge is right in the wrong way for the cameras on the exit of turns 5. So it looks like Rhetorical Gambit Kiz has got a little bit of pace. But he doesn't want to do anything silly and get any aero damage early on in this race as the pack is sort of really compressed. So I think he wants to just let it all even out a little bit and then try and make a move on Dat Boy, because Dat Boy's looking very competitive actually tonight.
but he's been hanging to get back in the seat, so I want to make a point of it.
Yeah, he's under challenge here now is not quite happening, but just pulling up on the brakes a little bit earlier. So John Slow up into 3rd position. There's a couple of drivers out there that have obviously did the Spa 2.4 over the weekend and backing it up for another big endurance race here at Gravel Trap Legends, so they're pretty game. I don't think you'd see me trying to do 2 in as many of days, so they're doing a good job out there. John Slow, one of them, in position 3.
So Magic's now pulled a good couple of 3.5 seconds in front. Back.
Yeah, he did this early in the race too, Kiz, so you would have might have seen it in your own timing screens. He extended that gap fairly easy early on in the race, but then we had the drivers come back at him. As
Okay.
yeah, so we might see the same thing happen here. I think it was Cuckoo actually was right on him before that dropout all was happening. So I think Cuckoo may have dropped a couple of spots. Did he? Did he start second in that little restart? I can't quite remember if it was Esky Man or Cuckoo, but I think Cuckoo might have dropped a couple of spots there. He definitely was second at when the lobby was all going a little bit haywire. So here he is trying to put a move on John Slow. John Slow in the Honda. Now, how did you find the limited time that you're on this track? It's a really good track for a lot of these aero cars. Did you enjoy yourself out there, Kiz?
Yeah, it is a pretty good track actually. Obviously I did most of my laps when I was trying to qualify. Didn't really get too many fast race laps in there obviously, but yeah, no, it is a really good track actually.
Yeah, it is a bit of everything, and it's one of those tracks where you've got to really take your time and set up the car for an overtake, don't you? Because there's a lot of left and right changes, so if you're defending, you can sort of defend fairly well. But eventually that can catch you out, and I think we're going to see maybe John Slow get done by Cuckoo very shortly here, because Cuckoo is definitely...
Looks like he's going in for the kill.
He sure does. Look at the big wing of these Janettas.
Massive. He's good at that Cuckoo though. He's just kept him cool, and he knows when the right moment when to go for it. So
He's like a tiger, isn't he? He's ready to. He's just roam in there and waits to pounce.
Yep.
But that Honda, I mentioned it in the first part of the race where it was all going. It's definitely got a little bit of that top end speed. Doing fairly well down the main straight, so it can hold its own. John Slow, but Cuckoo's probably got that little bit extra go around these longer aero corners over the Honda. As Dado knows all about Cuckoo too, just been racing against Cuckoo in the Porsche Carrera Cup series, and knows that he's a hard task master to try and overtake. Let alone he was in the 3.8 Cup car over a 4.0 Cup car from Dado, so he drove that 3.8 Pro-Am car fairly well. Let's have a look at Macatak now, as he's in this massive big battle that starts doesn't really end. We've up the road, we can actually see the battle for John Slow, as Cuckoo actually makes that move as we decided to take away. So up into the hairpin, turn 10. And Esky Man bouncing all over the shot, over the dirt of the exit.
Okay, looks like Cuckoo's pulling some good ground too on Esky there. Esky's a bit of a madman. He'll just run hard on one tyres, and he'll just go for it.
He'll keep
He's still
going.
quick.
Yeah, definitely. As it's all there with just trying to pick up the right person, not rhetorical. It's Mark 860 actually trying to hold up Brett S. We haven't seen much of Brett S at the moment, but I tell you what, he's really trying to hold the big red car behind him of Macatak. And he's in that in the Prodigy, we can see. So what a nice looking car that is.
It is a nice livery, isn't it?
We got Rocky Road Records. What's all about this Rocky Road Records? I'm feeling like I need a chocolate bar or something, but it's not obviously a chocolate bar.
If I'm correct, I think it's his store or something. I think he owns like a record store.
Oh, one of the drivers own a record store. Who was it?
Yeah.
Do you think it might be?
I think it's Smithy.
Oh, Smithy. And we were just rocking away earlier with Smithy with the Heart Devil or whatever they were called.
Witch Hazel.
Witch Hazel?
Witch Hazel?
Yeah, Witch Hazel I think it was, yeah. As here we go. This position for Mark 860 is definitely under threat with these lot just wanting to try to make a move. And this is so easily, he could drop 3 or 4 positions here if one of these car drives down the inside. It's Macatak.
It's just congested. Oh, he's gone.
And look who's looking behind as well, no frills. Great driving from all these drivers. These cars aren't very, they are easy enough to drive, but when they're driving so fast into turn 1 in this pack and there's no incident, it just tells you the quality out there on the grid, Kiz.
Yeah, it's there's some good consistent drivers from most of the field. No frills. He's always quick. Mac's quick. Obviously, Brett's quick, so should be an interesting little battle with pack here.
Macatak's got the Shane Van Gisbergen and the SVG number 97. And we'll see if he can keep himself in the top 10. It looks like he's got a little bit of pace to burn, but it looks like it's just getting that little bit. They just find it difficult to overtake around this circuit. You sort of get bogged down following one another. But you don't want to ruin your race at this stage with 27 minutes remaining. They'll hopefully keep in touch with everyone and make those moves with probably about 10 minutes or so remaining of the race. But it's all about trying to think, isn't it, kids? Do you think that you can, if you get through these drives, you can now try and get to the next pack, or is this where you're going to try and end up in the race, maybe gain a couple of positions? As here comes Macatak down the inside.
Oh, he's. Oh,
That's how
Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say that's how I normally play my risk versus reward when I'm driving in these type of endurance sort of races. I'm sort of thinking, well, is it worthwhile making a move now? Will I sort of clear out and try and make room up to the next car, or is it am I better off just holding position here? As I think we've just seen a move here with Christopher Razor taking Adrian for 12th position, and then we've got Squish Mittens. Oh, giving a little, just talking about the little touches. He just gave Adrian W just a little bit of a feel up the backside there. And we got the pink livery of, what's the car there?
Nicky Webster, Strawberry Kisses.
Strawberry Kisses as No Frills comes out just to see if he could have a look at attack on Mac Attack. Originally there, I thought it was I didn't know it was Nicky Webster, but there it says Nicky Webster on the shark fin.
So that's the one. It's very, very good.
So we didn't see this car last week at all. So let's have a little bit of a flyby down the main straight and have a look at those Strawberry Kisses.
Tasty.
Tasty indeed. So there you go. The Strawberry Kisses from Nicky Webster. I wonder what she's doing these days. Probably in theatre or something like that. She was a dancer or something, wasn't she, I think?
Oh, I'm sure last time I saw her, she was in Zoomag.
In the Zoomag.
All them years ago.
Oh, there you go. So let's go and pick up. I always like to have a look at the boss man of any series, and Stu Man's finds himself back into the top 20. He was qualified in a very low position in the race. I think it was 24th or so he'll be happy about that. As the old statesman of Dado Racer Kids says, where the hell is the ABBA livery? So, where is the ABBA livery? Hey?
Yeah, I missed the opportunity for that one.
Oh, that's gone down on the wayside. Maybe, Dado, you need to sign up, mate. And you could have had the ABBA. So maybe next year, my friend. There we go. So Stu's in the Fat Boy Slim. What about right now? Whatever that song was called. And he's cruising to there just in front of Truey. And Truey's got his window wipers going. As we ride on board Truey. And he's in the 9-inch nails all black livery. Bit of opposite lock for your Monday evening.
Slippery there.
Maybe he's thinking there is that imaginary rain on the track, Kiz.
Yeah, it could be.
So that's getting near the tail end of the field. We haven't seen Bales wasn't here last week either. So what car is he in? He's in the France Ferdinand's car or something. He's got arrows pointing everywhere.
Yep.
And they're all pointing forward, mate. So what's Bales got in store for us for the last 23 minutes? We'll shortly find out. But obviously, there's a car off there, and that's our Scar 666, is it? Or was that Smithy? That was Smithy.
Well, it looks like there's a couple.
There's a couple. So the Witch Hazel, he was rocking out, probably watching the replay of the stream and thought, hang on, I'm on the big screen. And got it all wrong there of turn 4. Wonder if there's if a safety car's been called. I think it is. I think they might be bottling up here or not. I think they're slowing down. No one's taken the option for a pit stop here, kids. That's a little bit strange at this stage.
Yeah, I wonder if
Esky Man has. He's come in. So could this be a lead of the race type decision, kids? Do you think this is the right time?
I suppose it would be the better time to pit, under the safety car while everyone else is sort of going slow as well. But
he will find himself at the back of the grid, so he's going to have to try and take it easy. Though he's coming out now, there's still a lot more cars still to come filter on through, so he's not going to be quite at the back of the grid, kids. So as you can just see, one of the cars coming out now, I think may be... Oh, they didn't quite pick it up, but it was Bales. So he's got in front of Bales.
and rangy. And I think he'll push through the field again.
So he's going to have left in front of him in Truey and also Stu, so he should be able to get through those guys fairly easy. But yeah, I was quite surprised you didn't see Magic Mass and some of the others, John Slow and the Bloody Nine, take the opportunity for that pit stop then, Kiss.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how their tyres are going, or if there's been like a mandatory pit stop. So I don't think pit stops are mandatory.
No, but I just didn't think that they'd get through a 40 odd minute on fuel, would they? I thought it was about 30 minutes, or could you stretch it out a little bit? I'm not too sure. Maybe they could stretch it out, but it's going to be touch and go, and if they have to come in for a splash and dash, this man here could well and truly have just made a race-winning decision there to pit on lap 13.
It's pretty good when it comes to that old Esky. He's pretty switched on.
And when you have a look at here, I know they're going slow, but 7 seconds off the pace of Magic Mass, and that's, you know, that takes you longer than that just to traverse the pit lane with a what is it, a 60k or an 80k, probably 80k speed limit.
Yeah, 60k I think.
60k, so that's going to be a torture if all these drivers have to pit for a splash and dash. I think the tyres should be okay.
You'd think the tyres would last. Not too sure what fuel actually. Much testing on that. I was just going to fill it up and go for it. But
as most people like to do, don't they? Just fill it up and just go, and make sure that your pit crew or your sim hub is telling you the right thing during the race. But here we go. We're going to have this restart. I didn't know it was going. I thought it was going to be single file, but it's a bit staggered, isn't it?
It's staggered, yeah. Seems to be the safest way. Cuckoo's in second.
So Cuckoo finds himself back in that second position. And here goes John Slow. So we've seen him pretty quick on these restarts and trying to poke his nose down as a rhetorical gambit. Here he goes up into fourth position, but going to find himself on the outside. And finding the long way around. He wants to try and probably, if he can't get around the outside here up into turn 4, he'll want to try and duck in behind the Bloody Nine. Because he's going to have Mark 860.
The outside.
Yeah, he's been able to hold Mark 860 away in Bay as well, so that's nice driving as they all filter in out through turn 5. Christopher Razor was thinking about it a couple of times if he was going to put his nose in there, as he was one of the top 6 Hyperpole qualifiers.
Yep. Max work his way up to 8th. Brett's still in front. Still same position. You've got Chris on no frills. 7.
And we're looking at Esky, already up into 13th position. So he's already cleared out from Stu and all those guys. And he's just got Adrian W in front of him. Let's see if he can make this move down the main straight. He made that look very comfortable.
Coming up on Nicky Webster there.
Yeah, so you'll just see here now, this will be trying to dive probably down the inside if he can get a good exit out of here. As the camera is just losing track. Oh, hang on a minute. We're just on board here, Esky man. And this was him trying to...
lollies.
He was trying to take a overtake move on Squish Mittens. Oh, another little tag as the trackside camera doesn't like what's going on. As Squish Mittens is finding himself moving again. So I think we're going to have to see Esky man maybe back into the pit lane again for damage repair.
Damage, yeah.
So he was doing well, and we just decided to try and go onto the track cam as he was down the inside of Squish Mittens, but it looks like that maybe they've tagged through turn 5. So
Is
what?
the Parkway Drive livery.
And what they normally say about their safety cars, they normally breed safety cars, and it's showing here is Max Power in a high position of position 20, so he'll be happy about that at this stage of the race.
Stoked, yep.
Yeah. Had a really good hit out here last week for the shakedown.
They did in the little sprint cars. He did very well.
Yeah, he enjoyed the little sprint car. More so than the Indy car. But here we go. So Magic Mass, I think we're going to have another restart here. Look at John Slow, going to make it 3 wide if he can down into turn 1. And John Slow's meaning business here as he's down the inside.
Oh, is there a bit of... It's got the inside. It's a very fun corner, that one, accelerating hard on that big sweeper.
Yeah, the turn 3, and it's probably fun when it's not so fun when you start seeing that front left tyre graphics start going red.
Yeah, it can chew the tyres up. It's pretty demanding on the tyres, this track.
So at the moment here, we're getting close to the end of this race. We've got 15 minutes remaining. No one has been able to get in front of Magic Mass. We've had 2 attempts of this, or we've had 1 attempt already of this race, and nothing could trouble Magic, even a disconnect from half the field. So he's still out in front now with John Slow just covering the inside line if he can from Cuckoo, but Cuckoo's thinking he might go right around the outside. This is a bold showing, Kiss.
Yeah. Well, there he goes. Inside. There you go. Got him.
Beautiful move from Cuckoo back up into second position. So he's trying to keep the Janettas 1-2 if he can.
Planned that 3 corners ahead too.
Yeah, definitely, sure did. And that's what you need to do. That's what I'm sort of saying. You've got to really set up a move on these track, because there's a lot of defending that can happen. And just trying to pick up. There's a black car down the background. Oh, it's actually our man Dat Boy, I think it was, making the move. Down in position 7. Oh, there's a little rub in there. Rubbin's racing, but they're getting a little bit close, both Dat Boy and Mark 860. Yeah, it's great to see Dat Boy back here at GTL. He's having a great little run here, and just trying to pick up some of these liveries of Stu M and Rangy Rover, having a good go. So Stu just tried to muscle Rangy if he could earlier on turns 7 and 8. And Rangy wasn't there last week either, and he's in the number 100. Look at this photograph of Nickelback.
Yeah, I think that's a free license to get punted, I think.
Free license to be punted, Kiz says, so look out.
Look out, Rangy.
But he's doing all right in 12. He's probably aiming for a top 10 if he can. He's going to have to try and get onto the back here of, look at Mac Attack holding off, who was that overtaking? I think that's Travis Moan, who's a lap down actually. So Travis Moan's a lap down, made a nice little move into turn 1. The Red Hot Chili Pepper car, but he's way down in 25th.
He hasn't given up. He's got that front back on.
He sure does. We have to have a look at Left. We haven't seen Left's livery tonight. We saw it a little bit around Monza with the Midnight Oil livery. And he's got Rhetorical Gambit, who's dropped a few places down into 17th position. So he got caught up maybe in that little incident with Esky Man, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been him actually. He's got a scar.
Oh, Stu's trying to go out to the beach.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's back on. Dropped a few places,
Oh, was that?
unfortunately.
Don't know if that was a little touch on with Squish Mittens, but Squish Mittens running very wide now. It's still holding the inside line through turn 12. And here comes Pixel down the inside of Stu. Tell you what, Stu's getting bombarded after he had a little play on the beach,
Yeah.
and now he's all the way down in 20th position. And he's just got Scar 666 trying to see if he can have a look down the inside. The Wild Stallions, we saw him featuring quite a bit at Monza. And there goes Rhetorical Gambit, so things aren't going well for him as he's trying to find himself back on circuit. So he dropped his wheel out of turn 1. And rounding out near the back of the field, we got Bents. And not too sure of that livery. I've missed my livery sheet, but let's have a little look and see if anyone can pick this one up. Oh, there we go. I've already got it. Bullet of my Valentine. So,
Bullet for my Valentine, that's the one.
so maybe a couple of hits might come our way as Mac Attack and No Frills. There's nothing separating these guys, and Mark's just in front of them. Mark's really the improver of 2023 as well, isn't he? He's done great jobs with GTL.
Yeah, it's come a long way. It's been very good. Good dude too.
Definitely, it was great to have him in the commentary, and it's great to have you too, Kiz. So unfortunate that these things can happen, but it's great to have some of the drivers in to give us some insight.
I don't know how much help I can be, but I'm here.
You're here, yeah, you're holding in well.
I'm here. That's the main thing.
That's it. And I'm sure the viewers are glad to have someone else also dribbling on the screens as well, and it's just not myself. I'm trying to think who I might have to go and have a little look at, but at this stage here, this battle here, I think is a very nice looking battle. But the bloody 9, if our graphics are right, oh, it's just blown out though. We're really close to that boy. We've got Adrian W holding off Christopher Razor in the green Tism, and that's a lot going on there at the moment, kids.
Yeah, it's a scary little pack there.
It is definitely a scary little pack. I wouldn't want to be Rangy Rover then, but Rangy Rover did a really good job. But here comes Esky Man trying to have a look down the inside of Rangy.
He's making his way through that pack, isn't he?
I don't think he pitted when he had that problem with Squish Mitten, so maybe he didn't suffer. It was just side-on damage, but we were hearing a lot of clunking and banging during the coverage, but we just couldn't see it. As Rhetorical Gambits come out of the pit lane, he's going to filter out just in front of these guys, and there's going to be a move for Christopher down on Adrian. And he's made that one stick, so Christopher up into the top 10 now. And Esky Man following. Look at Esky Man go.
He's on a mission.
He's 20 seconds off the lead of Magic Mass, so we just don't know about fuel, do we, kids? So I think what we might have to try and do is see if some of these graphics are going to be read correct. We'll run on board with Magic Mass very shortly. We'll just see if Esky Man can get this move done on Adrian fairly shortly. Because with 7.5 minutes remaining, and it ends at the end of the time, there's no extra lap, so depending where the drivers are, they got to complete that lap, and race will be over. But here comes Esky Man trying to do the inside, but he would be on the outside for the next corner. As Rangy Rover's making Esky's life a little bit harder at the same time. This is I think it's the first series for Adrian with Gravel Trap Legends in this Masters of Endurance, and up in position 11, and had a second position last week in Monza in class. So
Yes, he's got some pace about him.
holding off Esky Man, he's doing a good job at the moment.
Adrian's in a Chili Peppers car. There's two Chili Peppers liveries out there on track.
Yeah, okay, someone maybe picked up the wrong livery, maybe after the lobby restart, I'm not too sure, but here we go. Esky Man has got himself up into 11th position, and now see if he can try and get onto the back of Christopher and follow him through. But let's have a look at the fuel number. We're looking at on board here with Magic Mass, guys, and it looks like it's showing there 44 litres, so he should be right to get to the end, that's for sure. But
So yeah.
I did think that fuel was going to be a problem, but obviously not. Now, if you haven't driven the Janetta, here you are, guys, driver's eye view with Magic Mass.
Is this a Sigma?
Oh, the Sigma, sorry.
Really finesse. Very smooth.
And Bales sits into pit lane, so he's got a nice 8-second margin on this man, Cuckoo. So I think Magic Mass is going to make it maybe 2 from 2 if nothing strange happens in the next 5 minutes. But this is what we saw last week though, kids. We saw Gunner have around the same amount of gap to Magic Mass with about 6 minutes or so to go, and then the traffic came and slowed Gunner right down. He couldn't get through the traffic, and Magic Mass had the dream run, and then on the last lap was able to get the job done. So very exciting finish to that race last week.
Yeah, looks like Magic will get a second win. 2 in a row.
Yeah, we might just go on board the roof here of No Frills. And he's following Mac Attack with Mark 860 just in front of him.
They've been following each other all race, haven't
They sure have, and looks like Esky Man has dropped down the order again,
they? Oh, yep.
down into 19th, so got caught up somewhere or had a little spin on his own. He was following Christopher, so unless it was trying to move on Christopher, Christopher's right on the back of these guys as well.
More safety car. Only a few more minutes left of the race.
Yeah, so that's it. So this is going to be the run now to the flag with just under 4 minutes remaining, and it looks like Mac Attack is really trying to see if he can get this move done to get into the top 6.
We start to see a few moves starting to get taken.
And here's the on board here with Christopher, just having a look at all these drivers in front. All the different lines through turn 3 I mean, as the different grip levels.
On the side of the track there.
Looks like he's this is where I went and had a little look last time and we missed all the action, so I'm trigger happy on the cameras there, kids, but luckily there's no incident between Christopher and No Frills then. And got that job done, that pass done. And it looks like Rangy's made the move also on Adrian, so Adrian's just dropping off just that little bit now. So I think Christopher would be very happy if he can make these next 2 positions by the end of this race and be in the top 6. So that would be a good recovery drive from Chris. And he got a little bit of a lucky dog, you could say, because he would have been a lap down if this race had gone its full distance without the breakdown in the lobby early in the race.
Yeah, he'll be very happy with that.
So I think we just seen No Frills come into pit lane. So is this for fuel? Numbers I don't know. He's got 38.8 litres of fuel on that dash. So maybe this is for a bit of damage. Because he would definitely not be just coming in for tyres with only probably 2 laps remaining of this race, as we've got Magic Mass coming through turns 7 and 8. So there will be one more lap after this one. And we asked earlier, Kiz, how many laps would be in this race with the full hour and a half, and the call was, I think it was 50 or something like that, or 60 laps I think it was, but obviously we can't go on that number anymore because we had the big breakdown early in this race, but they've done pretty good for 45 minutes to get probably 26 laps done.
Yeah, good effort.
And take away the formation lap too, so we've got to remember that. That took about 2 minutes, so probably about 43 minutes of running. So it's a bit of hot pace here. These Magic Masses probably been no worse off than a 33 most laps. Let's have a little look at the timings. And you can see that fastest lap for the Targa that they run. He's got a 31.642. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's pretty fast.
And so he's keep getting all his rally skills on the asphalt fairly well here. But Cuckoo did a 32.2. But what I want to have a look to see is Esky Man. We'll just scroll down and find Esky Man. Oh, Dat Boy's done a 31.7 as well. So that's pretty good as well. But Esky Man, what's he done? A 32.0. So Dat Boy's on a bit of a charge as well.
31s there. That's it's pretty fast.
It sure is. As he's just getting up into some lap traffic as we speak. So he's lost touch of Scar 666 as the timer is finished. So we're going to be on our last lap. So here we go. So we're going to see Magic Mass come around turns 13 and 14 to take the round 2 here of Gravel Trap Legends, Masters of Endurance. And it'll be 2 from 2 for Magic Mass. And what a great effort this has been.
Wow.
So congratulations to Magic Mass. He really deserved that one. No one really challenged him. Cuckoo gave him a good challenge. So did we did see John Slow, but he dropped down into 4th position. The Bloody Nine actually came home in 3rd. So nice job by the Bloody Nine to take the final spot of the podium. And John Slow hasn't done any of his championships. Well, he hasn't done anything, but he's got him 3rd in the first round and 4th this time around. So he will be still fighting for that championship.
Banking some good points.
Definitely. Brett S, good return for him into 5th position as well.
Yeah, he's always fast. He's always up there.
Mark 860 comes home in that 6th position. He stayed in the top 6. And Mac Attack actually just stayed in front of Christopher in the end there for position 7. So the big red car.
It's not bad for a Janetta too. No DRS or anything. So
yeah, so they're no DRS, so they're a bit struggling. But this track here, I guess the DRS would have helped quite a bit down the main straight. But generally on the circuit though, there's a lot of corners where the DRS wouldn't have been very helpful.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of the more competitive tracks I think for Janetta, but great car to drive. So
Thanks, Dado. Yeah, have a good night, mate, and we'll catch up with you on the next one, buddy.
yeah, Dado.
And Adrian W. in the Red Hot Chili Peppers give it away. He's giving it away right now, Kiz, and putting it there where we probably saw one of the cars earlier in the barrier. And there we go. So Magic Mass. No one can touch him at the moment.
No, he's on a flyer, isn't he?
He sure is. So there you go, guys. That's the order that we've got there. We got Adrian W. would be happy to be in that top 10. Squish Mitten's actually got in the 10 for Nicky Webster. So there you go. For all you Nicky Webster fans, you've got a top 10 with Squish Mittens. So that's a good job. Rangy Rover will be happy. Welcome back to racing. But he was a hyperpole driver in P11, though. He probably wouldn't be happy with that result, Kiz. He had the pace.
Unfortunate.
He was 6th fastest on the grid there. Scar 666 coming home in 12th. Dat Boy. He had the pace there, but it was up and down. He dropped a bit of the order. He was in the top 10 for a lot of that race. And Stu comes home in 16th, so he'll be happy with that position. And as Aswood left in 15th, so well done to those guys. And Max Power knocking into the top 20 in 19th place. So awesome job.
You'd have to be happy with that.
Oh, anyone would be happy with that one, that's for sure. So good job from them. Anyway, we'll... that's the end of the stream. So thanks again, Kiz, for joining us.
No worries.
And helping us out for a little bit. I struggled a little bit. My mind's not with it today, but we got through it, so that's the main thing. But the good thing is one of my favourite tracks is next week at Silverstone. So we look forward to seeing you guys again.
Good one.
And hopefully the lobby will stay strong for the 1.5 hours. But big credit to the admin here at Gravel Trap Legends for keeping this race going and getting the second part. But I think there was no doubt in who was going to win that race in the end with Magic Massey. Was just full of pace there tonight.
Yeah, he had it from the start, didn't he?
He sure did. All right, well,
Thanks,
that'll
Woody.
wrap things up. Thanks, Kiz. And we look forward to seeing your car out on track without any issues next week at Silverstone. And
Fingers crossed.
hopefully we see you on the pointy end of the grid. Until next
See how we
week,
go.
guys.
Thank you.
I've been Neil with Kiz on board. We'll catch you next week. Cheerio.